Springhead Constellation started actually with a kind of simple but important wish. It's to look at the world through the prism of music and to really realize its vital force as it has. And as we know, music is not just sound, it's memory, it's ritual, and it tells us something about where we came from, and it might help us to imagine a different way of living together or with the land that sustains us.
This is a very interesting subject, the whole concept of the relationship between music and the land. It may seem a little bit strange to start with. What can music really relate, how can it relate to the land? There is a beautiful connection, it seems to me, between the two, in the sense that the vibrations and the rhythms of song are connected to the different events that happen in the agricultural year, whether it's seed time or whether it's ploughing, whether it's cultivating the land, and harvest. All those things are marked by music.
We wanted to create a place and an organization where musicians, artists, designers, ecologists and farmers come together to ask what creativity means in a time where our relationship with the natural environment is being redesigned. Its creativity doesn't live in isolation. It's being defined by the landscapes around us, by the rhythm of place and by history.
How can we create something that is sonic to then become sculptural? So it started off listening and looking at the graphic score, and from this piece I've created a resonance machine that transcribes the sonic data into a visual 2D data and collaged it into a 3D form. And then it's been machined out of fallen ash from Springhead to the final piece, Harmony.
I've been thinking about the histories, the layered histories of Springhead, which are fascinating because they go back a very long way from when this was an ocean. Where I'm sitting used to be an ocean, which is quite fitting because this has an aquatic feel. A lot of my work is influenced by water. That might be fluid dynamics, like looking at a drop of ink in water and how it disperses. Can I make a drawing that's essentially like a musical notation, which isn't a musical notation, using a completely new language of complexity and random mark making? Can I somehow capture the musician's work, the artist's work in the drawing?
I'm here with Ensemble Échappé at Springhead for a residency of 5 days leading up to the Music and the Land Symposium. The question that we're investigating through this project is, how does our relationship with the place we are change through listening? How can listening change our sense of our part in the bigger picture?
Well, it's very important that we do listen, that we give our whole attention to our environment and to shut out the noise factor. It's very easy to lose that elemental connection between water and air and music making of one sort or another.
Shouldn't we start with a question, which is there a systemic order in the universe? How is everything connected?
That's all.
Because in a way, that informs everything, doesn't it? If you're asking that question, and how does that relate to agriculture and music, I thought that would be a good starting point.
If you farm properly, there is a harmony with it. What's harmonious about spraying plants that then wither away and die? You destroy all the insects that feed upon it. There's nothing harmonious about that.
And that's what we need. I mean, we've got a crisis of mental health, with young people particularly, and they just need to get back into nature, to feel soil, to observe the awe and wonder of this extraordinary world.
I want to explore how the musical imagination in 18th century Lutheran Germany, the home of Johann Sebastian Bach, was agricultural. How through the very acts of musical listening and music making, Lutherans engaged family ways of being. That is, music wasn't a mere soundtrack to practices in the fields, but was a digging of sorts itself, music as a mode of farming.
You hear in these cantatas references to the parables in the Bible about the sower and how, having sown the seed, he was having to deal with all the pests like birds coming in, removing the seed, or thistles growing up in between the plants, or terrible weather. I mean, the same problems that we always have as farmers. But Bach manages to bring both the religion and the kind of pagan origins of farming together under the same umbrella, as it were.
To ask these questions of how does song come from the land, how does song root identity in place, and how does re-singing them now help join nature and us again? We are nature, nature is us. But the fact that we have to separate these two in the first place is perhaps the issue. The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing down to the sea. Mother Earth, carry me, a child I will always be. Mother Earth, carry me back to the sea. So this is the Springhead of Springhead. Water of inspiration, and people talk about this. It usually bubbles from there. You can probably just see the odd bubble popping up.
Oh, I be shepherd of the varm, wi' tinkling bells and sheepstalks björk, and with me crook athert me arm, here I'd a rove below the lurk.
Barnes, that's his most famous piece, but he wrote hundreds of poems in the Dorset dialect about the Blackmore Vale, which is where we are now, the northern part of Dorset around Sturminster Newton.
And when they had the dumpy heap and unbound, he fell to pieces flat upon the ground.
Oh, do shut thy lying chops. What, doesn't mind thy pitching to me out in gully plot and making of me wait was so behind a half an hour for every pitch I got? And how didst ground thy pick? And how didst clerk to getting up on end? Why, hadst hard work to rise a pitch that were about so high as a goodish crow's nest.
Springhead's a very special site where communities can come together, educational resource, a charity for sustainability, education and the arts. Every year we welcome upwards of 600 primary school children to come and stay and experience the unique habitats and the environment, think a little bit about the wider world, maybe crowbar a bit of national curriculum in there and generally have a lovely time.
My head is the apple without e'er a core. My mind is the house without any door. My heart is the palace wherein she may be, and she may unlock it without any key.
I think what's wonderful here at the Springhead Trust is to really reconnect at a very fundamental level with nature, and then to translate that in terms of what they're learning, what they're singing, what they're playing, what they're drawing. All these things, it's all so interconnected and so important for their health and their well-being.
Come, come.